Hey, what's up, guys? And
Oh,
welcome
fuck
back.
it, finally.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay, clearly I've been keeping him waiting for a while. Welcome back to our podcast. This is episode number 3. I'm reporting to you live. Not live, but from my nice home with my dogs, just relaxing. No kids, it's beautiful. So hi Tyler, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Kim. I am reporting to you live from shitty Regina, Saskatchewan.
Ooh,
No, I hate. You know this. You know. Okay, Saskatchewan. I think the whole province of Saskatchewan. I don't know what they were thinking then when they designed these cities, but clearly they thought no one was actually going to live in these shithole fucking cities. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. I hate how Saskatoon is set up. I hate how Regina is set up. They have a main truck road that goes north-south through Saskatchewan. You have to deviate, otherwise you're going to take the top of your frickin' truck off. That's how they design these cities. Regina, oh, you're on the highway, on a major highway? No, we're going to put 10 different lights from when you... Well, I guess the whole time you're on Highway 16. It's Highway 16 all the way through. But they put like 10 lights at the junction of... I can't remember what it is. 16 and whatever the fuck takes you to whatever's north of Saskatoon. Whatever it is. I can't remember what takes you further that way. But they put lights all over the place. They built a ring road, and just like Winnipeg and their infinite wisdom, they put lights on a through road, like on a perimeter road. What? Like, I think Saskatoon and Regina are taking lessons from how Winnipeg designs their roads. So for people that don't know, take a look at Dugald Road and the Perimeter Highway. They rebuilt that. They moved that highway. It used to be further towards Winnipeg. They took it and they moved it maybe 100 feet east. And so the old one used to have train tracks on it. The new one that they built, new one. This is new. This is somebody thought, hey, we should move this road over here. They didn't put like an overpass. They didn't put a junction, like overpass, underpass. They didn't put an interchange there. They literally just moved the road 100 feet from where it was and said, job done. All along the south side of the perimeter. Instead of it being the fast way, they put lights up it all around it. I don't understand what's with these cities. Like I've now with being all over, going all over North America, you realize just how dumb Manitoba and Saskatchewan are. Alberta doesn't have roads like this. On Stony Trail all around Calgary, there's no lights. There's no lights. In Edmonton, Anthony Henday? No lights. In fact, Saskatoon fucked up their roads so bad, they put lights where trains are. So, okay. I'm sorry. Just hold on. Okay, so, when you are traveling, when you come from the west side of Saskatoon, I think that's Highway 14, I think it is. You take that, when you're taking that highway, you end up going south down whatever stupid name the Hillbilly Road or whatever they call it. So there's a section where you exit the highway and you end up taking a left. They have train tracks. So, and this is all new construction. So let me rephrase. This is new construction. This is something that somebody designed and approved. Instead of putting an underpass where the trains are, or an overpass where the trains are, like a bridge, something to get over the tracks on a ring road, a perimeter road. They have one set of lights. I'm assuming this is for when trains are there, but there's no clear signage that says anything. They have no clear signage there. So they have one line, like one stop line, so a white line, your traffic lights, red, yellow, green. And then about 50 feet down, they have stop line and another set of lights. So with this road, it either diverts to the left, or you continue straight into whatever hellhole Saskatoon has decided to put there. So, the train tracks cut across the road twice. So there's either one track that goes out of the city, that goes west, or there's one that goes south. This is the type of fucking idea that these guys had. Instead of building it under the train tracks, they decided to build on the fucking train tracks. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. How do you... They fucked it up, Kim. They fucked it up. They fucked it up.
Just a little bit.
I don't understand how you spend multi-millions of dollars
that was hot.
on expanding this so people don't have to drive through your shitty fucking city, and you fucked it up. You fucked it up. I don't get it. Toronto, the center of the fucking universe, hasn't even fucked up their roads that bad. And Saskatchewan has nothing. It's not like they don't have, it's not like they have hills to contend with. It's not mountains. Well, mind you, Toronto isn't exactly mountainous, but Vancouver hasn't fucked it up. They don't have there's no excuse for Vancouver. It's where the road ends. That's where the highway stops, is at Vancouver. Even they didn't fuck it up this hard. There's one main road, Trans-Canada Highway, that goes all the way from Vancouver all the way to whatever island that PEI is. There's no lights. Except through cities that decide to do this type of crap. Winnipeg put that, the south side is supposed to be the fast one. I don't know if it's, do they hate cars? Do cities just hate fucking cars?
I don't think they hate cars. I think they hate people.
Oh, they have to. They have to. I don't Speaking of people that I fucking hate, why do bicyclists sit on the fucking road? Why are they on the road?
Well, they're on the road because they're told that they have to be on the road. They're not allowed to be on the sidewalks, which to me is absolutely absurd, because I find cyclists on the road so much more dangerous.
I call them cycle tarts.
You call them what?
Cycle tarts. They're cycle tarts. So, I don't understand it. They don't have insurance. They don't follow any of the traffic laws, and I don't know if this is the same thing for every other province, but in the States, it's very clearly stipulated that, hey, dum-dums, cars go on roads. Cars can't stop good. So they tell people, stay off the road. That's literally what they tell people. Cars go vroom on road, people no go. Like, how much more do you need to dumb it down? Like,
I don't know. I guess they think that because there's wheels, they should be on the road, and it's dangerous for them to be on the sidewalks because of pedestrians. But I find that less dangerous. And if that's their concern, then they should have 2 sidewalks or make the sidewalks bigger so it can accommodate. But them being on the roads, especially being in Manitoba in the wintertime when they're on the roads, like, Jesus. If they wipe out and then
Those
you
doggies
have to
are
try to slam on your brakes to avoid them on ice. Good luck with that.
Well, I've never understood it. And, like, I'll make this comparison. When a car hits a bicyclist, they're probably going to die. Like, if a cyclist just goes across, well, I guess cyclists, well, I don't know, maybe they do, like, with whatever brain cells these dudes have left. But if a car hits a cyclist, there's a good chance that he's going to get fucked up. He's going to get hurt. Like, badly. He's going to get hurt.
Oh, yeah.
There's a better chance of him, if he gets hit by a car, to him dying, than if that fucking guy on a bike was on the sidewalk and hit someone. And I'm sorry, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. They don't have insurance. Manitoba is famous for this, and MPI. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck you're thinking. I don't know how much more burden or how much less you need to make driving a nuisance for drivers before people finally they stop. It's like it's kind of like, I don't know. I can't even think of like a proper analogy. It'd be like putting barricades up on the roads. It'd be putting potholes on the road. It'd be putting everything in a driver's way for them to finally say, "I give up. I can't do this.
Putting potholes on the road." Manitoba or Winnipeg is famous for our potholes. That's literally a game every spring, is to dodge the potholes. Mm-hmm. Our roads are shit.
But it's just, it's if a pedestrian runs onto the road, well, it's a driver's responsibility. At what point do you have to say, maybe they kind of deserved it? Like, I can understand with a small child. Blame the fucking parents. Put the kid on a leash. That was a cool thing in like the 60s, 70s. They put their kids on leashes because they knew their kids were fucking dumb.
Actually, do you know where the children on a leash thing came from?
I don't know. No, I have no idea.
So it actually came back from, in 1993, there was a woman in England who was there with her 2-year-old child at the mall. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. And she literally turned her back for like 30 seconds and her child was taken. And it turned out, it's actually a quite sad story, but it had turned out this little boy was taken from 2 other young boys. He was lured out of the store. They were 12 years old, and they had taken him out, lured him out of the mall, and brutally tortured and killed him. These 2 young boys, they had actually looked back on the security camera, and the amount of time that it took for these 2 12-year-old boys to lure this 2-year-old kid away from his mom and out of the mall was only 4 minutes. It was actually quite sad, and it was this big worldwide story. Like, everyone knew about it and everyone was freaking out, and that's when the children on a leash thing had started. Parents were so freaked out, they started putting their kids on a leash because they were scared someone was going to take their kid and they would have that same type of fate. I'm not going to get into the details of that story of that poor kid because it was very brutal, but that's where it came from.
Oh, okay. Well, what was the initial reason for this story? Oh, I don't remember.
We were talking about bicyclists being on the sidewalks.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Well, thank you for derailing all of that. That was super cool.
You're welcome. I just figured I'd put in my factoid story for you.
Yeah. Okay, well, totally forget where I was going with that, like, whole thing. But yeah.
Well, we were talking, or you were talking about the roads in Regina, because that's where you're reporting from, in Saskatoon.
Oh, right. So MPI, well, it seems not MPI, but it seems like Manitoba. I don't know if this is other places. I would assume so, but it seems, especially my strict knowledge is in Manitoba, that if someone walks on the road, like, a driver has to do everything in their power not to hit that person. And that was the whole point of it. Was freaking kids on a leash, and okay, now I remember. But it almost becomes like I respect the road and what's on the road. Cars are, fucking killing machines, and like we're so comfortable in North America that you could walk out in front of a car and they're gonna stop. You know it. You know they're gonna slam on their brakes to not hit you.
Well, you're gonna hope so anyway.
Well, but that's what everyone does. If you see someone walking out on the road, you're not gonna say, "Oh well, tough shit, buddy." People are they're gonna try and stop it. People have no fear, no respect that a car cannot stop. But I don't know.
No, I gotta say, the mentality of it, like when I was a dumb kid, or a teenager, I should say, but in my mind, because when you're a teenager, you think the entire world revolves around you and everybody else has to cater to you. So I remember when I was walking across the street, I was like, fuck them, they have brakes, they can stop. I'm fucking crossing. That was the mentality that I had back in the day. And I can guarantee you a lot of other people have that same mentality. So...
But that's being a teenager. Like,
yeah.
There's a, like, not factually, but there's been studies that have shown that teenagers they can't, and this kind of ties with children as well, is they can't understand distance. So, like, teenagers, like, they think, 60 kilometers or whatever an hour a vehicle's moving, that's miles away. I remember taking one of the kids for a walk, and there's a car at, like, 3 blocks away, and the kid was going, I was saying, okay, well, we can cross the street, we were just going to the park. He's like, no, Dad, there's a car, you can't go. I'm like, dude, we can go. We can go. Look how far away it is. No, we need to wait until the cars are all gone. I'm like, but yeah. So it was just, but teenagers kind of have that same, like, they don't understand, like, distances.
Well, it's not even just distances. They can't comprehend how long it takes for a couple 100-pound, couple 1,000-pound vehicle to actually brake. They think that it's going to be instant. Like, as soon as you slam on the brakes, you're going to stop on a dime. But they don't realize the time that it actually takes.
Yeah. No, and it's well, I don't know. But anyways, we're kind of getting on an aside here. But my main point was, I don't understand why they, like, I was driving into work, and there were a group of cycletards going down the highway, and they were 2-3 abreast, and to the point that people were not able to get around them. They couldn't get around these, 3-4 people, and they're just, oh well, we're on the highway, it's our thing. Like, it's so, I don't know, it's so just, but people just have that overall expectation that the cars are going to stop, the cars will go around us, the car, like, man, there's so many times through intersections, I see someone on a bike. They just cross traffic. They go where the pedestrian crosswalk. They ride across it, and then they continue on, and they cross to the opposing traffic and then back over. What? In what world? Like you can't even. You know when people will go to an intersection, they think they're super fucking bright, so they'll make a right and then they'll U-turn and then they'll continue on. They've I got the system. I bet they never thought of this sweet fucking move. No, you can't just U-turn in the middle of downtown Winnipeg. You just can't. Lines kind of mean things. But whatever. Who the fuck am I? Just some dumbass.
No, I wouldn't say that you're just some dumbass. I mean, you more than anybody travel on the road all the time.
I will give it to the governor in Florida. At least he's kind of cracking down on this type of crap. Well, I guess with all the riots and everything, the U.S. kind of burning down. But
what do you mean? How so?
Well, he ended up toughening laws on people that if there's a riot or people surround a vehicle and that vehicle cannot get out, they're protected by law to run through those people.
What?
Yeah. So if let's say a riot broke out and on the highway you ended up getting stopped and people surrounded your vehicle and were, typical crap that these kind of organizations do is pull people out of the cars and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Well, Florida said, no, we cannot, no, you can't do that. So, and it's a very strict, very high barrier, but people are now at least assured that they can escape. Because it is, and some people have made the argument that it is a type of false imprisonment, of kidnapping. So, people like to, there's been a lot of laws that have been just gone way beyond their scope and their intention to the fact of absolute lunacy. But, I don't know, it's...
So sorry, let me get this straight. So, in Florida, they have laws now that'll protect you if, say, I'm in a vehicle, people start surrounding it, people are trying to pull me out of the vehicle or trying to attack someone in the vehicle, that I can just go. And if somebody, unfortunately, gets hurt, the law will kind of protect me against that.
Well, I'm sure there'll still be a costly court battle,
obviously, yeah.
But, yeah, that was put into law. Which, and to an extent, and that's the difference with, the U.S. and Canada. The U.S., you can be charged for traveling on the road as a pedestrian. And there are laws that govern, if there is no road, you should be doing this. You have to do this. And in Canada, it's just, no, it's just a bigger sidewalk with cool designs all over it. That's what our roads are. It puts so much pressure, and I'll say, as someone that drives a semi, if someone pulls out in front of me, you know what the crazy part of this is? If this happened, if I collided with someone, and, I don't know, they got hurt, they're looking at me first. They're looking at the professional driver. Well, why didn't you see that coming? How did you not? At what point is, dude, I have 10 other things that I need to focus on before I need to focus on this fucking guy walking out into traffic.
Well, and even still, it's not even just the fact of, being cognizant of there being people on the side of the road. So, okay, yes, at any given point, this guy could be a fucking dumbass and decide to jump out in front of the truck. Yes, you have to be aware of that, which you are. However, again, this goes with the mentality of people. They do not understand how long it takes for certain vehicles to drive.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's not. Shut the fuck up. Not you. I was talking to my phone. It's not that. Children, I can understand. They don't understand that. People, adults, how, like, no, it's a forced, it's like just a blasé, oh, well, I know nothing's gonna happen. I am terrified of fucking roads. Like, if I'm walking, I look on the opposite side, I see people with earphones in just walking down the side of the road. What? What? That has never crossed my mind. If I do it because I'm trying to hear something in particular, if I'm listening to something, I am paranoid. I am almost a manic fucking freak. Because I'm trying to, it's either I'm trying to look back while walking, even if I'm on the opposite side of the road, I'm hyper focused that there's 4, 10, 20, 100,000 pounds of killing machine. That's what? It's just the expectation that, hey, this car isn't going to smash into me. And it happens all the time. All the time. How many videos have you seen of people that are sitting and looking on their phone and they're walking somewhere and they walk into something?
Oh my God, so many.
There was a video I seen of a lake, and this, to tie this all in, this fucking broad walks across 4 lanes of traffic, 2 going one way, 2 going the other way. This fucking bozo walks between cars. They're moving. She's looking at her phone. She ends up hitting the side of a U-Haul fucking truck. Like into it. Like frying pan, boom, in her face. Was the like, and these people are allowed to fucking breed? I'm sure I would not be surprised if this was the type of person that happened and she said, "Why did that car hit me?"
Oh my God, right?
It'd be one of those. It's like they just don't, they have no fucking fear. No fear. I wish I was as fearless as that fucking idiot was. And I'm getting right pissed off.
I don't even know if that's no fear or just idiocy. I really think it's more so that they are the center of the universe and everybody's supposed to be paying attention to them. You know, cars should swerve to avoid them. They can do what they want to do. They're not paying attention to literally anything else that's outside of their immediate world. Their social media, their text message, whatever it may be, they're just so hyper-focused on it that they forget about the actual world going on around them.
Oh, they have to. Like, these are the people that can't walk and chew gum. And these people are, well, in Manitoba's case anyways, and it seems like the rest of Canada kind of follows suit, that these types of people get licenses. How many times? And how many times have, like, I'm not going to name names, and I'm not going to name people. So, full disclosure, I was a driving instructor for a little while. The stories I would hear from people. People took 20, 30 tests for a semi. This thing, well, fully loaded is, well, in the States it's 80,000 pounds. In Canada it's close to 100,000 pounds. Because in Canada we can carry more weight than you can in the States. And 20, 30 tries. I think at try number 5, something has to happen. Something's got to change here. We can't keep doing the same. the same, well, like, maybe the stars will align this time. Well, they have to, right? Like, eventually, like, as the saying goes, a broken clock is right twice a day.
I don't know. I mean, for me personally, I feel that when it becomes to oh my God, let's try English. When it comes to professional drivers, that there shouldn't be the opportunity to be doing 50 million tests before you finally pass, because to me that's a little scary. It's bad enough when it's your class 5 or whatever class it is in whatever province you're in or country, but when it comes to professional driver, like, you should know what to do. You should know how things are, the rules of the road. It shouldn't take you 50 million tries to pass that. And personally, I feel that after X amount, whether it's 5, 10, 10's too much, 5, we'll go with 5, you should just be cut off. Like, okay, dude, sorry, this is not the job that you should be in. Stars aren't aligning. Find something new.
You can't do it. No, it's not even, this isn't the job. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't drive. You're not allowed to drive. You can't do it. You're too fucking dumb to drive. But people, it's a human right. I need to be able to drive. No, it's a privilege. Just like everything else in Canada. It's a fucking privilege. It's not
driving is not a right.
Like, I was hearing I believe it's in Sweden, I think if you fail 3 times, you have to go for a psychological evaluation to make sure that you got all your faculties.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure it's Sweden.
That's kind of awesome. I like it.
But anyway, so it's so unbelievable. And then I guess to go on, like, the professional driver side is anyone that drives a car, any four-wheeler, what do they see when they see a semi? Oh, it's just some stupid truck driver. He doesn't know what he's doing. But if one of us out of the 400-something thousand drivers in North America, one of them fucks up, all of us are now treated like that guy. Think about the thing in Humboldt. And I was saying this for years. Not F-O-U-R, F-O-R. 4 years. There needs to be a higher standard. It should almost be, I am, like, when I was doing evaluations, I made it clear, I'm looking for a reason to fail you. As mean as that sounds. Because my name is on that evaluation form, and that's my reputation. I would rather, hey, if you impress this guy, you know your shit. That's what it, I don't know, and it seems like, they give a lot of leniency. A lot of leniency.
Yeah, they do.
And I don't fault people that come here trying to make a better life for themselves. But if you can't read, write French or English, it's our 2 official languages. Pick French. It's much easier than English. I barely understand English, and I've been studying it my whole fucking life. But, like a refugee is one thing. They're escaping persecution from their country. That is one thing. But if you choose to come here, and then you can't read English, you can't write English, you can't communicate with the world that you're living in now. And we give them leniency on that type of stuff. No,
I don't.
Our signs are in English, and I don't want this to come across as though I'm like some phobe or ist or whatever. I'm just thinking the amount of damage that it does to those people that come here. I'll tell one story. I know you have some stuff you want to talk about, but fuck you. I'm talking.
Me too.
I've heard so many stories of guys, girls, people, whatever, coming to Canada to get their CDL, to get their Class 1, easy, wherever you are, whatever you call it, to drive a semi. So many stories I have heard of guys having their work visas hung over their head. So if you came to Canada, let's just say, no, you went to another country and you said, I want to live in this country. I want to, and this is the profession that I'm looking at taking up. And someone said, Kim, if you don't do this job, I'll send you back on whatever fucking piece of shit you came here on, and you can go back to your country.
Rude.
That's a common story, and nobody in this industry speaks about it. Nobody. It's just, oh well, chew them up, spit them out. We know that we have 10 other guys just waiting to get here. So, like in here, we've pushed for electronic driving logs, EDLs. Everything we do in this industry is regulated, and I've made this statement before. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly accurate or fairly confident in this statement of only thing that is more regulated than the trucking industry is probably someone that runs a nuclear reactor. That's probably the only thing that has maybe a space shuttle, but they get paid way more, and it's probably a lot fucking cooler than driving this bloody thing.
Well, dude, it's a space shuttle.
There's very few industries that are as regulated as the transportation industry. Everything is regulated. When we can break, or like how long we can take breaks, how long we can work, how long do we have to sleep, how long we're actually able to travel, how loads are moved, how they're secured, how are they, everything. Is the vehicle maintained to a certain standard? And I'm not saying these are bad things, but I'm saying you regulate the shit out of it. I have to know what is the safe operating speeds? What are the weights? What am I hauling? How is it loaded? What kind of condition is my vehicle? Everything you see on a truck, if you see a hole in it, that guy knows about it, and there's probably a good chance that he would get hauled in for it. If I have one light burnt out on this trailer, on the truck or trailer, if there is a light burnt out, one light, I can be put out of service. Put out of service for one light not working. And you know what? Okay, as a professional, well, you don't get paid a professional's wage. Anyways, I'm ranting, I'm getting pissed off, and I'm getting hot. So, the point is, the people that are ended up hired on from another country can't do their job because they're now under the gun. They have this green card looming over top of their head. They can't do their job effectively, or they're run into the ground and cause an accident. Everyone knows, and before anything, it took a semi plowing into a school bus of children before governments finally recognized, hey, maybe we should do something about training programs. No shit.
Yep. Should have been done a long time ago.
Like, but the trade-off is, so it costs more to get it. It costs about $12,000 in Manitoba. $10,000 to $12,000 to do it now. Your starting wage is like $30,000 a month or a year. You can become an apprentice at any trade school and make more. And at least you have ongoing training where your pay will increase. You don't have nothing like that in transportation. Mind you, it's not unionized at all. But I don't know. I'm not a pro-union guy. I'm sure my opinion could be swapped on that. But so it ends up dragging everyone else down. So if you have someone that comes from a country and they didn't have a lot, if they didn't have a lot in that country, going anywhere and getting anything is more than what they had. And in fact, a lot of the money that they make ends up going back to their home country. And I'm not faulting them for it. It's their decision. They do what you want. But it drags the entire industry down because the drivers, well, like I said, every four-wheeler sees one guy do something dumb. They assume every single one of them is dumb.
Yep.
It's so, I don't know. And I guess just being on the other side of the windshield, I suppose, you can tell a professional from an amateur guy. I was in an accident. First trip this guy was ever on. Slammed into the back of my truck while driving through BC. Because it was snowing, there was black ice. I was able to maintain it, but that's the thing. He doesn't even know. And I one thing I taught my students was assume anyone around you doesn't know what they're doing. You have to play like that. One thing, and I don't know, I guess this is becoming me rant about truck driving. But
that's okay.
One thing, I'll use this as an overall kind of, you think this is easy, you're just driving a truck. This is how many steps it takes in order to make one right turn. One right turn. Okay, we'll just keep it simple. You need to check your left side, check your right side, anticipate what kind of intersection you're working with. People are, what? What do you mean what kind of intersection? What kind of lights is it? What's the curb like? Is it a yield? Is it a merge? Is it a sharp shoulder? Or is it pushed back? Is it recessed? So you need to assess those things. What are the lights doing? What is opposing traffic doing? What is cross traffic doing? We haven't even gotten to the intersection yet. So, left turn, or left side, right side. What type of intersection is it? What is opposing traffic doing? What is cross traffic doing? Then you can finally start, what type of turn do I need to make? Because it's not just, I turn right and go. No, you need to make it so that your semi does not go into the opposing traffic. Cannot do that. So we're now...
Or traffic lights.
Well, yeah, try not to hit those. People frown on those. So we're 7 steps in, and we're just at the intersection. So we're at, what kind of turn am I making? Next, you can actually start preparing for your turn. So whether you need to straddle 2 lanes. And cars don't seem to understand that. The reason I'm straddling 2 lanes is because I can't do it in one. So I need to do both. So then you have people that like to squeeze in on your right side. So not only do you have to navigate this turn with about 75 feet of steel, well, that's not really steel, but you get the point. You have to not only just navigate this turn, you now have to be aware that someone's going to try and sneak in on your right side. I had someone do that. I had a lane blocked off. I had it blocked off with my trailer. They hopped the curb to get back on the road to make the turn that I was making. You know what the funny part, and I know I kind of sidetracking, but yeah. You know what the funny part is? If I made that turn and I ended up striking him, I'm at fault.
Well, of course.
That's the real funny. But anyways, okay, so we're checking our left side, checking our right side. We are checking opposing traffic, cross traffic. What kind of intersection is it? and what kind of turn are we going to make. Once there, then we can actually start making our turn. We need to ensure that our trailer doesn't hop the curb. We need to make sure that our tractor doesn't hop a curb. Shut up. Then, once you're finally done, once you've made your turn, so the tractor and trailer have cleared the curb, you still need to straighten out and be in the proper lane to finish your turn. So there's about 10 to 12 steps just to make one turn, one right turn. And that's to do it properly. So it's I wish this would just blast out into every single car. It was an emergency warning, like, hey, fuckface, this is what it takes to drive a semi. But it's I don't know. I'm
Well, and don't even get me started on those idiots that sit there and will cut in front of a semi and then slam on their brakes or slow right down or something. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're the size of a fucking house, like weight-wise, and you think that you're not going to be able to, or you're going to be able to stop fast enough?
So here, okay, since we're kind of starting story time a little bit here. Story time with Tyler. I had a car. They pulled in front of me, slammed on their brakes, and made a right turn. So maybe I should back this up a little bit. So I was going about 70 kilometers. I don't know what that's in freedom miles, but what is that? 45? I think it's about 45 miles. Car pulls in front of me, slams on their brakes, and makes a right turn into a McDonald's. That was their... I don't know. I ended up having to slam on my brakes, and I ended up having to hit a shoulder just so that I wouldn't hit them. So it's that type of stuff that happens. And again, a professional driver is looked at, why didn't you avoid it? At some point, it has to be somebody else's responsibility. Here's another story. This is when I was getting my license. My instructor's license. I guess the guy that was doing the course said that there was a semi traveling in the States for the company that he was with. There was a school bus that was coming down a hill to his left. And it was like a T intersection. The school bus, or I guess the driver noticed that the school bus could not stop. The school bus was sliding down this hill. Ended up blowing the stop sign, and the driver made the decision. He put the semi and the trailer in the ditch. EMS came, and the driver was okay. The school bus was okay. Everyone inside, everyone was fine. But the company, and this guy he seemed quite proud of it. I put him on 2 weeks suspension because he did not know, or he should have seen, that the school bus could not stop and should have made a better decision. He should have been able to anticipate somebody else's moves. At what point is it you have to be clairvoyant to know what's going to happen? At what point it's a school bus driver. It's not some normal person that doesn't have any improvement on their license. You need to have a special license to haul a school or to drive a school bus. In Canada, I think it's I was going to say class 2, but I thought that was for emergency vehicles.
No, that's class 4.
Okay, so you have to have a class 2. I think a class 2 is actually anything with up to 26 or 24 Cs in it.
Class 2 is not up to, there's a school bus that's up to, I think, 26 seats, but your Class 2 without your school bus could actually go, I think, to 36.
Okay.
I believe. I could be wrong, but I think.
Okay. But anyway, so, but whatever, that's besides the point. But the point that I was making was, this guy, the EMS, was thanking this guy, saying that you saved all these people's lives. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then to have his boss say, well, why'd you do that? Shouldn't you have known that that bus wasn't going to stop? And the guy was put on his suspension.
What exactly would his boss want him to do? Like, what would have been the better thing for him to do?
To anticipate that this was going to happen.
And then what?
Stop.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, at some point, like when I approach intersections, I look. Like, I don't just, green light means go. No. All right, here, I'll ask you this, and I'm pretty sure I've asked you this. Anyone, and we'll just give it a couple seconds. What does a green light mean? No cheating. What does a green light mean? Okay, no, enough time. Kim, what does a green light? What does a green light mean?
Go.
No. Are you being serious, or?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
I'm saying that green means go, but you have to do it with a side of caution as well. You can't just see a green light and assume, okay, I'm just going to go. You still have to be aware of your surroundings.
That is not what a green light means. A green light means proceed with caution.
I thought that was the yellow light.
No. Green light means proceed with caution. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. Fucking prove me wrong. Yeah, I'll even type it in. What does a green light mean?
See, at times like this, we need a guy that's like that's on the Joe Rogan show. So he could just sit there and Google our shit for us.
What does a green street light mean? So, just green. Okay, now I can't. Anyways, the point is, you can only, as a driver, I think, at some point, responsibility has to transfer to someone. At some point. This guy did as much as he could, and I've done the same thing. I've put my truck in the ditch. I've put my truck in snowbanks so that I didn't kill somebody. That's one thing that I find absolutely, like, it's a reflex. So here we'll go with another story. No, actually, you know what? No,
hold on. But this just honestly, like, it shows the lack of humanity. This person literally saved the lives of everybody that was on that bus by avoiding the crash, and he's getting suspended for it. He's literally getting penalized at work because the truck, the load, everything else was more valuable to them than the lives of people.
I don't think it was that. Because any safety coordinator, they have to do something. Unfortunately, that's the insurance world that we live in. Insurance dictates everything. Liability dictates everything. So, in order for them to do it, they need to show that corrective action was being taken. Sorry. Something corrective had to be taken. So, they have to say, okay, well, we appreciate what he did, but there are places that it could have been improved. So because of that, he is going to be pulled off the road, possibly, some type of retraining or whatever. The worst thing you can do, remember the old expression, if you fall off a horse, get back on. It is the worst thing you can do is if you are in an accident, is to now live relive that experience over and over. Because I'm sure that driver wasn't the same, even though he didn't do anything wrong. But now he starts second-guessing his own knowledge, his own abilities. You end up planting a seed in the back of his head that he is no longer capable of doing a job. And for what? $50,000 a year? Maybe 60?
Yeah, that's very true.
To get kudos, to get praise from the people that normally, well, we would be having to, scrape red paint off the street for the next week. They commended him. They thanked him for what he did. A selfless act. And no, the company, mind you, this company is now out of business, so that just shows their caring, but
can't really say that I'm sad about that after this story.
Yeah, no, but this is the type of stuff that I think people don't think about. Like, if you were going to be in a collision, you just kind of, oh my god! No, as a professional driver, it's, how can I mitigate damage? 9 times out of 10, I will sacrifice myself because I know, I'll tell everyone this right now. If I slam into someone, I could slam into them 100, 110, doesn't matter, highway speed. We could slam, a car and a semi could slam into each other. I could almost guarantee that I'm walking out of that, maybe with a few bruises. I would say probably 9 times out of 10. No, I would say 99 times out of 100, that's what would happen. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating.
Well, more than not, the truck driver is going to survive.
Well, but I don't even mean just survive. Be virtually unscathed. Virtually no damage to him. But a car, you could have the car could be obliterated. And so that's kind of some of the thoughts that go through. And actually, for me, these are some ideas that go through my head are, in the event of this, and it is something that I pay attention to, where I am. What can I do if this happens? I'm always kind of thinking about that type of stuff. Like, hey, what if I suddenly blew a tire? Well, make sure that I'm holding on to the steering wheel. That kind of stuff. What happens if a car comes out? What happens if a car starts sliding and I'm going to slam into him? Well, I guess I'm going into the ditch. I guess I'm hitting something inanimate. Will this turn into, an hour of me bitching and moaning?
Pretty much. That's okay, though.
No, but I guess to kind of get back to the initial point was...
He's in Regina, guys!
Cyclists fucking suck. Saskatchewan should be nuked off the face of the earth. Trust me,
hey.
Saskatchewaners, Manitoba's a close second. I actually, you know what? I think if you did a coin flip, either one I'd be happy with.
Hey, I got family in Saskatchewan.
Oh, well, tell them to move. And don't bring your shitty engineering ideas here. Or road, I don't know, what do you call it? Road design, whatever. Don't bring that here.
Construction?
No, it's road design. Someone that you design roads. I guess traffic flow. Anyways, Saskatchewan, fix your fucking roads. Fix your roads. All right, that's all I gotta say.
Are you sure?
No, I could keep going forever.
I know.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or stop it up there?
Well, smile. Look at the tan. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so earlier this week, I was, for, I guess, a lot of people who don't know, I love Scientology. Now, I don't love it as in, I am a Scientologist, I want to be a Scientologist. Hell no. I love the craziness of Scientology. Like, I absolutely loved that docu-series that was on Scientology, The Aftermath, with Leah Remini and oh my god, what's his name? Mike Rinder. There we go. I loved it. I could not get enough of it. So, I love Scientology. But anyway, so I had found this new podcast, and I didn't realize it was out there, but there's an actual podcast that's out there called Scientology Fair Game with Leah Remini and Mike Rinder. They started doing this podcast after the docu-series had ended. So, I'm into it. I'm watching my videos, or, well, listening to my podcast. And now, on YouTube, it's under Scientology Fair Game, which is the name of the podcast. Now, they had 1.6 something thousand subscribers, okay? So I'm watching it. There was, I think, 50 some odd videos on there, and I'm on video 3, or podcast 3.
Wait, okay, sorry, I'm interrupting.
Okay.
A green traffic light means you may go, but only if safe to do so.
Oh, jeez. We were moving on from that. But there you go, guys. That's what a green traffic sign means. Anyway, so back to my story. So I'm on episode 3. I'm working, listening to my podcast as I work, literally in the middle of the podcast. Now, okay, I don't know if anybody knows about or anything about Scientology. Do you know really anything about Scientology, Tyler?
Where do you how much time do you got?
Well, just, do you know what fair game means?
Well, I know, Scientology was started by L. Ron Hubbard. He was the most prolific shitty fiction writer in history.
Yeah.
He ended up buying a boat and to evade paying taxes. When he came back, he said that he founded Scientology. And they are the only place to sue the IRS into submission. I know about their what the hell's the thing with the fucking cans? That stupid thing. The hell's that thing called?
Oh my god.
Is it Going Clear, or is that just what that documentary was called?
That's just what the documentary is called. That's the whole process of Scientology, is to go through the different levels to get to the end, which is Going Clear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, what the hell is that thing? I know what you're talking about. It's not their truth meter thing, but it's something along those lines. It's almost like a lie detector test-esque type thing. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still talking. Anyway. Okay, do you know what fair game means in, well, I guess just in general, but...
Well, fair game, general, I would assume fair game means that these topics are allowed to be talked about.
No. So fair game, actually the definition for it is a person or a thing that is considered a reasonable target for criticism, exploitation, or attack. So in Scientology, they have this thing called fair game. Now, anybody who speaks out against Scientology, whether you're an actual Scientologist, if you have questions, or media, or anybody who essentially even asks any questions in their quote-unquote religion, is considered fair game. So they can literally try to destroy your life. And that is one thing that people who have left Scientology, like that's something that happens to them. People literally will harass them, get them fired from their jobs. Like, there's so many horror stories, it's ridiculous. And if anybody is fascinated as I am at how fucked up Scientology is, please go check out that podcast. But to get back to that, so I'm listening to the podcast and they're just talking about like fair game, stuff like that. Now, anybody who doesn't know, Leah Remini and Mike Rinder were part of Scientology and have now left Scientology. So they're trying to bring awareness about the quote-unquote religion and all the shit things that happen in it, and try to help people get out or help people who have come out either be able to express their stories or get them help. Now, as I'm listening to this podcast, as they're talking about this shit, literally all of a sudden my screen, like my sound goes dead, and I'm like, what the fuck? So then I go look on the screen and it says this video cannot be played. And I'm like, what? Okay. So I click on the icon that says the Scientology Fair Game to get back to that channel, thinking maybe that one video is just corrupted or something. So I click on it. Now, when I look it up in YouTube, I would look up Scientology Fair Game podcast. The little logo comes up, and it says in it, it's a black background, white lettering, Scientology Fair Game. I would click on it, then all of a sudden it would bring me to a completely different thing that was called Morbid, a true crime podcast. First I thought maybe this was some weird glitch or I clicked on something else. Nay. I tried multiple times on the computer, through my phone, everything. That podcast, the Scientology Fair Game, had disappeared. Now all of a sudden it was replaced by this Morbid, a true crime podcast, which now all of a sudden had the same 1.6 blah thousand subscribers, but only had 2 videos up. Where the other one, there was 33 videos or some shit like that. So then you hit the back button and you're like, hey, what the fuck? Click on the Scientology thing again. Brings you back to this Morbid one. Now, I was subscribed to the Scientology Fair Game podcast. So anytime a new one would come up, obviously you get notified. Anybody who uses YouTube knows this. I kept getting constant notifications now about this Morbid, a true crime podcast. And they literally went from having 2 videos up that day that I was watching this, which was just a couple days ago, to now there's, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20, 28 videos that are on there. And they were literally just started being uploaded 3 days ago, when I was right in the middle of my podcast up until an hour ago, which I'm looking at it right now. Now, I happened to look at it again today. I still kept trying to find that Scientology Fair Game podcast, and I was able to find it again, but it went from 1.6 thousand subscribers to now there's only 273 subscribers, and there are 7 videos that just started getting uploaded 3 days ago. So I'm thinking, because with all this talk and fair game and stuff like that, and all the shitty things that Scientology does and all the things that they've had to endure just speaking out against Scientology, that they literally got wiped out of on YouTube. Their thing was redirected to a completely different podcast, and they had to start all over again. Like, it's fucked up.
Oh, they're a very suey company.
It's not even suey.
Religion.
It's the shit that they do is fucked up.
Well,
Like, they can literally just destroy your life. They can do all this shit, and yet there's no repercussions for it.
No, because, well, I guess in a sense, it's a consenting adult. That would be my guess anyway. But I think at some point, when are you no longer consenting, and when you try to leave, you can't. But they're funded. They're funded by, to put the conspiratorial hat on, they're funded by Hollywood.
100% they are. That's not even a conspiratorial hat. That's fact.
So they have deep pockets. They have very deep pockets. So, good luck trying to sue them. In North America, money talks. It's a country of whoever has the most money. It has nothing to do with justice.
I don't know. Like, if this doesn't scream how fucked up it can be, like, literally, it's a fucking YouTube channel. Like, they have been arrested and shit like that, like Leah Remini and that, for doing other things that they're doing, just trying to help people. They have so many lies that are being spread about them and accusations just to try to literally drag their names through the mud, make them look like pieces of shit, make them look like they're fucking crazy. And it's literally like it's being allowed. And even something as simple as, again, I'm into listening to all this shit, and I find it so fascinating that people still are in that quote-unquote religion and are still going to it and all the fucked up shit that they do. Mm-hmm. Like, if you actually know the whole process to being in Scientology, this isn't just you go there and, you get taught things and that's it. No, you were literally forking out thousands of dollars to take their courses to get to the going clear. And I'm talking thousands upon thousands of dollars. These courses are not cheap. And I don't know any other religion that actually makes you take these courses, or takes courses period, just to find a higher self. Like, normally in religion, that's something that you were taught. They teach you, be good to one another, do this, do that. You don't have to fork out a fuck ton of money in order to reach going clear, which should be where you can literally tell your body you no longer have cancer and all this other shit, which is...
Well, with that, at what point does it become, like, it becomes criminal? Like, I think it was Steve Jobs, and I've never actually seen how much or how true this was, but my understanding was that when he died, I believe he died from cancer. But before he was going through like modern medical procedures, and somehow he ended up getting convinced to do like, it wasn't like faith healing, but it was like that type of shit, like Reiki healers and doing that with fucking stupid crystals that'll help you and all this stuff. I'm not saying Steve Jobs was a great guy, like apparently the guy was a piece of shit, but yeah. At what point does it become like it's criminal? Like someone isn't of sound mind. But I don't know if that's where free choice, like, hey, you know what, you want to do that to your body, by all means. But if you're being coerced into it, I don't know. I'm sure there is some legal ground that if someone is being coerced not to do a life-saving procedure, I don't know. But carry on.
I'm not sure. It's just fucked up. It really is. Like, even still, okay, like, I listen to a lot of true crime shit. Like, I fucking love this stuff. But you even think of, like, within Scientology, David Miscavige, his wife, Shelley Miscavige, has been missing since 2013. Everybody keeps saying, oh, no, she's alive, but she has not been seen since 2013. Mm-hmm. And that's actually funny, because that's what was the catalyst for Leah Remini to actually leave Scientology, because she was questioning it and she got punished for it. She was deemed fair game because she was questioning where someone higher above her was. Even asking a question you get fucked over. Like, that's not allowed. Like, they have so many stories of torture things that they put people through. They literally ship them off on fucking ships and they're stuck there. They're not allowed to talk to family members. Like, it is so sad. Mike Rinder still has family members who are in Scientology that won't see him, won't talk to him, because he is considered an enemy now. And you know, like, even think of Tom Cruise. Well, he hasn't seen his daughter Suri because Katie Holmes left Scientology and took their daughter. Yeah. So he hasn't even seen her daughter because he's still attached to this fucking cult. Like, yeah. It's absolutely insane. You were literally choosing that over your family. But anyway, back to the whole Shelley Miscavige thing. She has been missing since 2013. Now, David Miscavige is saying she's completely fine, but nobody will actually produce her, bring her out for people to see. So what the fuck happened to her? And the fact that people aren't investigating this or really even pursuing this and going after this guy of where the fuck is your wife is completely mind-blowing to me, especially when you have someone like what the fuck was her name? Shit. Anyway, she's a missing person and they're not doing anything. Like, I don't understand how people aren't pursuing this and forcing him to produce his wife.
Yeah, well, I guess that's,
Lori Vallow, that's where I was going with that. Sorry. Lori Vallow, her kids. Nobody had seen her kids, and they were literally pressuring her. Show us where your kids are. Oh, no, they're fine. No, show us. Tell us, like, show us proof that they're okay. They pressured, and of course, then they finally found their bodies, unfortunately. But that's my point, is like, they're pressuring these people. Where are your kids? Where are your kids? Where are your kids? Well, where the fuck is Shelley Miscavige?
Oh. Well, I guess when you have lots of money, you just make those problems go away.
That makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense how this made up thing from a fucking science fiction writer has literally gotten as big as it has, and people are so, like, just into it, like, just so fucking brainwashed, and they literally have that fucked up power that they can, make things go away. Make the law authority not look into them. No. You just pay them off. But the thing is, when you first become Scientology, and you have to go through your little lie detector-y meter thing. Fuck, as if I can't remember what it's called right now. But anyway, they get a bunch of dirt on people. They get people to confess to things. They find out what their big secrets are and stuff like that, and they use that as blackmail. So they have so many things on these people. And the funny thing is that literally everything that goes on in Scientology has to be documented, which is something that L. Ron Hubbard had put into place. So everything that happens there needs to be documented on pen and paper. So if people would actually go in there and ask to see these records, the amount of things that they would be able to uncover and exploit and literally arrest people for is huge. But they don't.
Well, it's a religious organization, and that's where the big problem comes from. That's a big thing. Well, once it's a religion, it becomes it's very hard to sue, and it looks really bad. Even though it's made up, but well, you can make that argument about every single religion that they're all made up. So from the thing with like with I guess the quote from Richard Dawkins was, we're all atheists. You just You just have to stop believing in one more God. So, I don't know. And that's kind of the weird thing is that, they manipulate people into a state of coercion. I'm sure there could be some legal grounds for it, but probably just, well, how deep are your pockets? If you got Tom Cruise like that, there's a reason why I haven't seen any of his movies in years. There's a reason why I haven't seen any actors that have been in that are in that group for years. I vote with my dollars, and when I know where the money's going, I kind of stop it. There's a reason why I don't support Coca-Cola anymore. Well, because of the decisions that they've made with their money. There's a reason I don't support Nestle, because of the decisions that they've made. So,
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. That was just my little fucked up story for you. Found it really interesting just listening to all these things about fair game and listening to all these different things that people have to go through and their horror stories with this religion, and literally mid-episode, boom, gone. Like, it's so fucked up.
Yep. No, they know what they do is if it was actually, put into the light, I'm sure a lot of people would be going to prison.
Oh my God, from the stories that I hear, so many people would be in prison.
I don't know. I've had the luck of never running into one of these people, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of any of it. So I don't have a dog in this race. I think all of it's dumb. That's me.
E-meter. Sorry. It's called an e-meter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, all right. How long have we been going for?
An hour and 21 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. So I got a little quote.
Okay.
Don't resist the change that is taking place in your life right now. Change is an opportunity for growth. Forcing things to stay the same will only further hinder your potential. Don't resist the new life. Embrace it.
So what does that make you think of?
I don't. It was just you put me on the spot there. I was like, I don't know. Just it was something that I read, and I just thought, like it. Don't fear change. Change is an opportunity for growth, and just go with it. Embrace it. I liked it.
I would look at it as change in terms of self-improvement. I think we should all strive to be a better version of our yesterday self.
Yes.
There was one thing that I seen, and I'm not a big Matthew McConaughey fan. I believe it was Matthew McConaughey, but this actually gave me a lot of respect if it was from him. And so sorry if I'm misquoting him or misattributing the quote, but it was something to the effect of, "Who was your role model?" And he said, "Me, 10 years in the future." And he would always try to, reach that better part. So it was kind of that he always tried to do better than the person he was 10 years ago. And
yes, that was Matthew McConaughey. And to anybody, listen to his motivational speech, The 13 Truths. It's in there. And it is fantastic. It literally just lit a fire on my butt.
Yeah, so it was kind of, where do you want to be in 10 years? And, striving to be an improvement on that. And my kind of basis is, you leave the world a better place than you found it. And I think you should try to do that in your own life too. Is, you know, when you wake up tomorrow, it's a new day to be a better you, to be a more generous person, to be a more loving person, to be a friendlier person. So, I don't know. I think this world needs a lot more empathy and a lot more love. But I don't know. Maybe that's just my lame-ass hippie idea. But
I 100% agree. I think the world would be a much better place.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And one
All right.
more thing to
Oh,
go
what?
on with all the stupid people we talked about today. Please neuter your pets and your weird friends and your relatives. Just saying. Neuter them all. Stop with the stupid people.
Okay. Well, I guess on that wonderful note, I guess thank you everyone for tuning in. You can find us on Spotify, all major podcasting platforms. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Rumble. We're looking at trying to set some stuff up for like Patreon people. So if you want to support the show, you're more than welcome to. Things are only going to get better, and my nipples are only going to get harder. So with that, thank you everyone.
We're also on Instagram at Wereoffended_show. The link for that will also be in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe and help us out.
All right, let's end it there.
Good night, everyone.